Let's get moving. Today we're going to start with a Pilates push-up. So step to the back side of your mat. Your feet are going to be 4 inches apart, all 10 toes shining straight ahead. Hands come up and overhead, and we're going to go into a roll down, nodding the chin, rounding the spine with length on the front side of the abdomen. And we're going to allow ourselves 4 steps with our hands. Bend your knees if you need to. 1, that's the right hand. 2, that's the left hand. 3 for the right hand again, 4 for the left, and you should end up in your best plank. Lynette's showing us a variation on her knees, and that's a perfectly acceptable way to achieve this exercise. Now we're going to do a small push-up with a tricep focus. So we're going to exhale as the elbows fold back, lower down just an inch or 2, rise all the way back to start, and now we're going to do those 4 steps in reverse. So we're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1, return all the way back up to standing. Nod the chin, round the spine, curling with length on the front body. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. Small push-up. We're going to do 4 here this time. 4. Let's go 3. Collarbones are wide. Let's go 2. Here's our last one, and we're going to reverse that. Walking, stepping back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll all the way up. If you're on your knees, go ahead and stand back onto your feet. And if you have dumbbells, you can grab them if you'd like to. We're going to step into a wide second position, wider than our shoulders in a soft turnout. Arms float up to shoulder height with or without dumbbells. On the exhale, we're going to soften the knees. Inner thighs spiral forward as the sits bones broaden on the way down. Inhale as you narrow to raise. So on this one, we're keeping the torso upright. The sternum stays right above the pubic bone. We don't want to tip forward or back at all. And the knees are going to align with the big toe, second toe coming just in front of the ankle crease. We're going to hold the next one low and start with some arm circles. So we're going to start this movement from the shoulder socket, almost like we're holding the eraser. If your arm is a pencil, we're holding the eraser to make the movement rather than holding the tip of the pencil. On your next inhale, we're going to rise all the way back up, keeping those arm circles going to layer it on. Exhaling as you lower down. Inhaling as we float up. Let's change direction, challenging the mind as we're working the body. So we're changing direction of the arm circle, exhaling down. Inhaling, narrowing through the pelvis to raise. Let's hold the next one down. You can continue with the arm circles, and we're going to peel the right heel up off the floor 2 to 3 inches and imprint it back down. Peel the left heel up 2 to 3 inches and imprint it back down. You can keep alternating side to side, or you can peel both heels up at the same time and imprint them back down. It's entirely up to you and the balance that works for you. Now, if the arms become aggressive and you want to focus on that movement through the femurs, through the thigh bones rotating, you can simply take your hands to your hips or touch onto a counter or a chair next to you to support your balance. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to go right into a lunge for our left leg. Hold the next one up. Why not, right? Just hold and breathe. Get a little bit lower in that plie for 3, for 2, and with intention, melt 1 or both heels down, inhale, and rise all the way up. From here, we're going to step to the front of the mat. Feet are about 4 inches apart and parallel. And we're going to take 1 nice step back with a straight right leg. That right leg is not invited to bend, only the left leg is. Straighten both legs for me now. The torso is going to be upright, and this is our position at the top of the lunge. 2 straight legs with a straight torso. Keep hands on the hips for now. And we're going to exhale. Left knee is going to bend. Torso reaches forward, and right heel reaches long from the crown of the head. That's an exhale. Inhale, left leg straightens, and the torso returns to upright. Exhale, soften that left knee, reach that sitting bone back and out at a diagonal. Inhale as that sitting bone draws up and in, and we return to straight. Let's add the arms. If you're up for it, we're going to reach in opposing diagonals. So the right arm comes alongside the ear. That's an exhale. Inhale, 2 arms are along your sides, 2 straight legs. Arms stay straight. Right arm floats up. Plug that shoulder down the back line of the body. Inhale as we narrow and bring it back up. Now you can see Dakota has those dumbbells. Sucks to be Dakota, huh? Exhaling down, inhaling up. You can give them a try, and if it feels aggressive, simply set 1 or both dumbbell down. Hold the next one here. You can bring the arms to the hips if that starts to feel aggressive. And we're gonna peel that left heel up and imprint it down. 4 times total, peel it up, that's 2. Last 3. And last one, heel goes down and bring it all the way in. If you do have dumbbells, you definitely want to grab them or just use empty hands. If not, we're going to do a single leg dumbbell. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Single leg dumbbell bicep curl. So what we're going to do is have our feet in first position, and you're going to take that right leg out at a diagonal. You're welcome to keep the toe down, or you can bend the leg and keep the toe down here. Or for a balance challenge, you can float the right foot off the floor. Whatever works for you works for me. Come into that 90-degree bend of the elbow out at an angle. And from here, we're gonna inhale as the dumbbells float up, exhale as we stop at 90 degrees. Notice that my elbows are floating below my shoulders, but they're not mashing into the waistline. So you can see that Leynette here has her toe touching, and this just helps to support her balance while she's working, but she's still getting the challenge of the weight shifted into the lateral line of the left leg. And you can see Dakota here, she has the toes up off the floor, and so she's really having to fight for that balance and not sinking into that left hip. Good, beautiful. Thinking about energy pouring down the outer line and up the inner line of the leg, out the crown of the head. Just a few more here, you guys. Last 2, we're gonna go into some squats next. And last 1, bring all of your feet back to the floor. We're gonna go into a parallel squat, 4 inches apart, all 10 toes shining straight forward. You can just keep the dumbbells on your hips to start with if you have them. And we're gonna bow forward, creasing at the hips, lengthening the tailbone from the crown of the head on the way down. That's an exhale. Inhale, return all the way up to standing. Exhale, creasing at the hips, sits bones broaden. Inhale, use your breath to help propel you up to the sky as we come into a full extension. So a lot of times you hear people asking for a micro bend in the legs. That's not what I'm after. What I'm after is a full extension of the knee and hip joints so that we make sure we're getting into the upper fibers of the hamstrings and the kneecaps are actively absorbing. We're not locking into the backside of the knee joint, but we want to access the backside of the hamstrings all the way up by kneecaps absorbing. Let's add the arms if you're up for it. They're going to come up into a front raise, just about chest height. That's an exhale down and an inhale to raise. Inner thighs are spiraling up as we lower into the squat, and they're spiraling back behind us as we float to top. Exhaling down, inhaling up. We have 3 more. Last 2, as you dip forward, make sure that core stays engaged, navel draws up and in between the shoulder blades. Last 1, and with intention, inhale, rise all the way up. Let's go into some tricep dips. You can set those dumbbells down if you've chosen to use them. And we're gonna sit on down in the middle of our mat. Hands are gonna come behind you, flat on the mat, with your fingertips shining towards your feet. Let's bring our knees and toes glued together. Lengthen the arms so you're really sitting tall on the back side of those sits bones. Lengthen through your arms. And we're gonna stay with knees and hips in a crease, but we're gonna float up off of the floor by about 3 or 4 inches. So we still are at a diagonal with the torso. Arms are long, lift away from the floor. And on your exhale, elbows bend straight back behind you. And you're just gonna tap your tush down. Inhale, come all the way long. So you might have the temptation to kind of jut your chin forward. Get your head in line with your spine and give a gentle nod to the chin, and that should take any tension out of the neck. Exhaling as we lower, inhaling as we raise. We want to magnetize those outer thighs. This is not an arm exercise. There is no such thing. My mentor always tells me the scalpel is for the surgeon. So we want the whole body working, even when it looks to the casual observer like we're just focusing on our arms right now. Inhale as we raise. How's that feeling, Leynette? Exhaling down. She loves it. It's her favorite. Last one. We're going to tap it down and release. Okay. Now we're gonna stay down here, come all the way down onto your back for some supine leg hinges. That means we're gonna lay on our back, and you can choose a few options here. Dakota's gonna show us with her hands interlaced behind her head. Lynette's gonna have her arms long at her sides. I'm gonna do whatever I feel like. So we're gonna take the right leg up towards the sky. And now let's take the left leg to join it. And check in with your body. It is irrelevant if your legs are directly over your hips. What is relevant is that you maintain a neutral pelvis, your hip bones are shining to the sky, and your tailbone is heavy in the mat. Arms can come along your sides, and let's move together. We're gonna exhale as the legs lower towards the floor. How low is entirely up to you. Inhale as you bring the legs back to their starting position. If that's aggressive on your low back, simply soften the knees a little bit, same thing. We're gonna exhale as we lower down. Inhale as we bring it back to start. So think about those femur bones, and they're swimming through the dome of the pelvis. The pelvis is not invited to move at all. So the pelvis is holding steady, and those femur bones are like a ball and socket joint. My dad was a carpenter. He would really appreciate that reference. Exhaling as we lower. Inhale as we bring it up. I shouldn't say was, is. He's still quite masterful with wood. And bring it up. Last time, exhaling on the way down. Inhaling on the way up. And go ahead and with intention, float those legs down to the mat. All right, you guys, we're gonna go into some downhill skis. This is one of my favorite exercises to do on the Wunda in studio, so I've done my best to translate it onto the mat for us today. So what we're gonna do is start in a plank position. Hands come wide, shoulder width at the top of the mat, and step your legs back into a plank position. Lynette's gonna show it on her knees rather than up on her toes. From here, we are going to shift our weight back, bending our knees, creasing deeply at the hips, and you see that the torso rotates. That's an exhale. Inhale back to the plank. Again to the left. I promise I'll get the right side later. Exhale as you rotate. Inhale as you bring it long. So we're keeping all sides of the waistline long, which can be really tough to do when we go into that rotation. So pay close attention to the right side of your body in particular, and make sure you're not shortening as you sink back into the bent knees and the crease at the hips. Exhaling back, inhaling long. Collarbones are wide. We're lifting away from the wrists. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Keep that last one clean. Don't dump out of it just because it's the last one. Bring it all the way back to the plank and slowly let the knees go back to the floor. If you have your dumbbells, let's grab them. We're going to do our single leg standing bicep curls. Coming into first position. This time we're going to stand on the right leg, so you can take the toe out. You can have it bent, or you can float it up. And we're going to come into a 90-degree bend, straight forward this time. So we're going to inhale and exhale. We're making sure that we're not hanging out in that right hip. Yeah, we're trying to center the body weight as well as we can over the midline. We're inhaling as the shoulder blades melt down, and that's causing the hands to raise, kind of like a pulley system. Shoulder blades melt down. Keeping the elbows close to the waist, but not jammed in. Last 3. Nice and tall through the crown of the head. Last 2. I'm getting a little wobbly. Anyone else? No one? All right. Thank you, Dakota. And last one. Keep your dumbbells or set them down. We're going to go into that lunge on the other side. So we're going to be close to the top of the mat. Feet are 4 inches apart, parallel. And we're going to keep that right foot where it is. Take a nice step back, pretty good one, with your left leg. So to set it up, we're going to have 2 straight legs at the top and a straight torso. And we're just going to start with that bow forward. The left leg stays straight, the right knee softens. As we bow forward, adjust your feet if you need to, and inhale, come all the way back up. So the navel draws up and in between the shoulder blades. Exhaling as you lower. Inhaling as you rise all the way up through 2 straight legs at the top with a straight torso. Deeply crease at the hip as you bow forward. The tailbone reaches long from the crown of the head. Come all the way up, and let's add those arms in opposite diagonals if you're up for it. So the right arm reaches back, left arm comes alongside the ears. We bow, and then we scissor everything back to start. Beautiful. Elongating. Really think about reach rather than how low you go in that lunge. Lengthening back. Last two, we've got those awesome foot rolls coming next. Inhale to rise. Last one, hold it here. Hands can come to the hips or stay where they are. Peel the right heel up 2 to 3 inches. Imprint it back down with intention. Peel the right heel up. Imprint it back down. Last two. Last one. With intention, all the way up, 2 straight legs and the arms scissor down. And now we're gonna go into our teaser. You can grab your dumbbells or work without them. Sitting down in the center of your mat, we're gonna do this with a rounded spine. So I like to set it up like this. Sitting tall on my sitting bones, I have my hands behind my thighs, collarbones are wide, and I'm gonna lean back 2 to 3 inches with a flat back. That helps me find the low belly activation. Then I roll the tailbone under and elongate the spine as I roll into that C shape or a curved spine inflection. Now let's bring that right leg up into a teaser position with a bent knee. And if you're up for it, you can bring both knees up, balancing on the tailbone. From here, we're gonna take the right arm and rotate towards the right with our rib basket. That's an inhale. Exhale through center, and inhale, rotate the opposite direction. So the right arm reaches across the body, we're rotating to the left, and the left arm reaches across the body, and we're rotating to the right. Beautiful. So that's pretty tough to balance. What Leynette's showing us here is an option where she's alternating the leg as she floats it up and rotates across the body. So this gives you a lot more stability. She can even keep the legs down and do a rotation here, because holding that curl is plenty of effort just to hold that lean. So you can choose 1 leg at a time, 2 legs up, or both legs can be down, and you'll still get the same great focus through the waistline and the deep abdominals. Now let's focus on one last thing, magnetizing those outer thighs. Those knees are gonna really wanna track side to side. Magnetize those outer thighs to stay connected to the inner thighs, low belly, and pelvic floor. Let's do one more and bring it all the way back to center. All right, set those dumbbells down. If you had them, we're gonna flip over and go into that downhill ski on the other side. So this is where our hands are shoulder width distance on the mat. Lengthen the legs back into your plank. Leynette's gonna show us on the knees. And as we soften the knees and crease at the hips, we swivel the ribs and the pelvis to the right. And then we inhale, return to that plank position. Exhale, soften the knees, keep the waistline long and shift the weight back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, swivel. Inhale, return to that plank. Really lifting away from the wrists the whole time. Keeping the collarbones wide and the outer thighs magnetized, just like we were doing in that teaser. Exhaling as we swivel. Inhaling back to center. Just a few more here. We're almost there already. You feel that nice waistline focus, you guys?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Exhale here. Inhale forward. Last one. And go ahead and bring both knees down. We can roll out the wrists if we need to. We're gonna go straight into a 4-point hover, and we're gonna do some single leg extensions. So Leynette's gonna show us with the knees down, and Dakota and I are gonna show you with the knees hovered up off the floor. Check in with your knees. They should be 4 inches apart right under the hips. Think about lifting away from the floor as the collarbones broaden, and please look straight down at your mat. That's gonna elongate the back line of the body. Maintaining your neutral pelvis, go ahead and hover both knees up off of the mat or keep them down. And now we're gonna take the right leg and reach it long at approximately hip height. The pelvis is not invited to move, and bring it back down to start. Now the left leg, and bring it back down to start. Now the right leg. At any point, if this starts to feel aggressive, now the left leg, just go ahead and set the opposite knee down, and you can work with your knees down on the mat rather than hovering, reaching the right leg back on the inhale. Bring it back in, left leg back. And the right leg goes back. Lengthening the tailbone from the crown of the head, lengthening the toes from the crown of the head. Last time, right side. Last time, left side. And bring it all the way in. All right, guys, so next is our single leg inversion. Inversion is just the fancy way of saying headstand. That sounds like fun. Let's try it together, shall we? We're gonna use our forearms, and the crown of our head is gonna actually touch the ground, touch the mat. So take your forearms down on the mat about shoulder width distance. The crown of your head is literally gonna come in contact with the mat, and it's gonna stay there. From here, we're gonna have our legs about 4 inches apart, parallel. Give me a good connection to the forearms. The hands are flat, palms are flat, and the collarbones are wide. We do not want to put a lot of weight on the neck, so you want to feel the connection to the back line of the body. Do you guys feel that through the back line of the body across the collarbones? All right, from here, now we're ready to lengthen the legs up and back in a pike position. Leynette's going to show us with the knees down. And now the right leg is going to reach up and back and tap the toes down. Right leg comes up and back. Tap the toes down, switch sides, left leg. Up and back. Tap the toes down, navels are up and in. Up and back. Tap the toes down last time. Up and back. Tap the toes down. Knees come down. Woo, and come on up. Get the blood out of your brain, back where it needs to be in the rest of your body. Take good care if you're feeling a little bit woozy. Give yourself a second, and then we're gonna go straight into a side plank. Stay low to the floor, that's a good idea, right? We're gonna have our left forearm down only. You can choose to have your left knee bent under you, or you can have your feet stacked like Dakota is gonna show us. From here, we're gonna lengthen up into a side plank position. The right arm is long, the right leg is long, and what we're gonna do is a lateral raise with that right side. So first, get your head in line with your spine. Gaze to the floor if you need to help take any tension out of your neck. And now we are going to float the right leg and the right arm up at the same time, and then we bring them back down to start. Float the right arm and the right leg up, and bring it back to start. Right arm, right leg. Thinking about creasing at the outer side of that right hip, keeping the pelvis stacked and lifting away from that left elbow on the ground. We're gonna do 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. With control, return to start. And we're gonna turn onto our knees going into our imaginary jump board. So we're gonna have our knees in a closed parallel position. We're gonna sit back on our heels and our forearms and palms come flat onto the floor. To start with, we're gonna inhale as we rise all the way up, front side of the hips open. Exhale as you lower back down to start. Inhale as you float up. Exhale as we lower back to start. On this one, let's add the rotation. My left arm is reaching an opposite diagonal of the right, and I'm rotating to the right with my ribs. Now we're gonna come back to start and rotate in the opposite direction. Left hand down and we rotate to the left. Back through the center, left arm up. Back through the center, right arm up. The pelvis is not invited to rotate with you. It's really the rib basket and the arms rotating. And the pelvis is still shining straight forward. Now the quads are gonna wanna take over, so make sure you use your waistline to help you float up. You can also think about lifting from under the glam line where your booty and your legs meet. Inhaling as we float up, magnetizing the outer thighs, exhaling down. Really reach in opposition with the arms. That's the opposite diagonal direction. Really helps to open the body. Last 2. And last 1. Bring it all the way in. And we're gonna take 1 or 2 dumbbells or none into your hands. We're still on our knees, about 4 inches apart parallel. And we're gonna go into some diamonds. We have a good bend to the elbows and the hands start low at our thighs. From here, we're gonna inhale as the shoulder blades melt down and the dumbbell raises to chest height. The elbows still have a good bend to them. Exhale as we lower back down to start. Inhale, initiating from in between the shoulder blades. That's when we bring it to chest height. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale, shoulder blades slide. Thinking about the tush not taking over as the dumbbell floats up. That's going to be the temptation. We want to send the skin of the kneecaps out to the sides of the room to help us connect to the inner line of the legs, the low belly, and the pelvic floor. From here, let's hold the next one at chest height. And now we're going to slide that dumbbell at the same height straight in towards the chest, and the collarbones chase the elbows wide. Inhale as we elongate, but keep a good bend to the elbows. Exhale, collarbones chase the elbows wide to the sides of the room. Can feel that stretch across the back line of the arms. Can you guys feel that happening? Exhaling as we draw it towards us. Inhale as we send it out. Keeping the front side of the hips open and the sternum over the pubic bone. Last 4. That dumbbell gets heavy real fast. Last 3. How do tube dumbbells feel? A little bit heavier. Last 2. With control, bring the last one all the way back to the chest, and then we're gonna set one or both dumbbells down. Let's get that side plank happening on the right side. So we have the right forearm down. You can keep the right knee bent or stack onto both of your feet. Lift the hip up off of the floor. Now we're at a nice diagonal line. You can gaze towards the floor if it's aggressive to your neck, and we have the left arm long on our leg. From here, we're gonna lift out of the right shoulder blade, and on the next inhale, the left arm and left leg are gonna float up. Doesn't have to be a great big range of movement, and then we're gonna come back to start. We're just creasing at the outer hip, and the arm is matching the angle of that lift of the leg. Keep working. The crown of the head reaches long. You can see that Leynette is giving herself additional balance support by keeping the arm where it is. And I'm gonna straighten up the pelvis a little bit more. As the leg raises, it's gonna wanna creep behind you. So make sure you think about the hips staying stacked, and think about that inner thigh reaching even longer than the foot. So see if you can stretch that leg all the way out, lifting up off of that right elbow, plugging that shoulder blade down the spine. Last 2, then we're gonna go into a little washerwoman to finish it out. Last 1, bring the leg or leg and arm down and the hip down to the mat. All right, if you have your dumbbells, we're gonna grab them one final time. If not, do it with empty hands. And we're gonna go into a washerwoman. So what that is we're gonna have our feet 4 inches apart, parallel, all 10 toes shining straight forward. Arms come up and overhead. We're gonna nod the chin, round the spine, kind of like we started with that Pilates push-up. Keep length on the front body as we lower down towards the floor. Now, if you need to, you can give your knees a good bend. You might even feel a better stretch on the back line of the body, and hold. So legs are straight or knees are bent. And now we're gonna exhale, softening the elbows out to the sides of the room and the collarbones chase wide. We stop at that rowing position. And then we're gonna inhale and elongate. Exhale as we come to the sides. Inhale to elongate. You can think about opening up the back side of the legs a little bit more. Inhaling to elongate. Exhale as we soften to the sides of the room. We're gonna do a little challenge here. We're gonna hold both arms in the row. Take the right arm extended out to the side of the room. And now just 3 times, we're gonna reach that left arm down to the floor again. Exhale as we bring it back to start. So the right arm is holding still, the left arm is moving. Long left arm, bring it out to the side. Last one. And the left arm comes back to shoulder height. Fold the right arm in. So now we're back at start, 2 bent elbows. Left arm reaches out to the side, left arm is long. And now on our inhale, right arm reaches down towards the toes. And the elbow bends out to the side of the room 3 times. This is 2, down to the toes. And elbow out to the side of the room. Last time, that dumbbell comes down, comes up towards the shoulder, hold. The left arm folds in, and now both dumbbells are gonna set down to the floor. We're gonna finish with some roll-ups. So your hands come to your shins. Straighten the legs out if that's accessible to you, slowly tracing the hands up the front side of the body as we realign into a standing position. Arms come up and overhead as the shoulder blades melt down. We're gonna bring the arms circling in the opposite direction, up and overhead. 1 more roll down. Exhale, nod the chin, round the spine as we curl. Hands come to the mat or onto the shins. Now everyone bring your hands to your shins, slowly rolling up, imprinting the front line of the body. With intention, the hands come up and overhead, navel up between the shoulder blades. With strength, imprinting your arms to the sides of your body. And I challenge you to maintain that posture for the rest of your day. Great work.